My name is Amy Kerr, and this project was a collaboration between myself, Gianni, Jiawei Sun, and Paul Flaspohler at Miami University. School bullying is a worldwide phenomenon associated with negative outcomes for victims and perpetrators. Despite efforts to prevent or control bullying, more than 20% of students in the US and China report being bullied at school. But despite its worldwide prevalence, little research has been done to compare factors influencing bullying across cultures. We wanted to know how factors leading to school bullying were similar or different across cultures, specifically those factors related to school. We conducted an exploratory literature review on the topic, including studies in both English and Chinese. Researchers in both countries have examined bullying using a socio-ecological framework. Individual child factors and factors in the microsystem have been well studied in the US and China. However, less research has been done on influences in the exo and macro systems. In reviewing the research on school factors influencing bullying, we found that articles published in English and articles published in Chinese had differing areas of focus. Research from the US often centered around school climate. Researchers found that a more positive school climate, where students feel supported and respected by teachers and peers, has been associated with lower reports of bullying. Additionally, school climate can interact with other factors to influencing bullying. For example, students with high self-esteem may be more or less likely to bully others depending on their perception of their school climate. Research published in Chinese did not specifically address school climate, though related constructs were explored. Research on school bullying in China often focused on the role and influence of teachers and school policies, values, and procedures. Research demonstrated that teachers in China may not have sufficient training to recognize all forms of bullying or effectively intervene. Specifically, they may fail to recognize forms of bullying that are not physical, such as verbal or relational bullying. Similar findings have been reported about teachers in the US. Schools in China may additionally provide insufficient focus on social and emotional learning. Rather, schools in China are highly focused on achievement, possibly at the expense of addressing these other areas. This may lead students to have less empathy for others, making them more likely to bully. Additionally, the typical school management style in China may inadvertently promote a culture of bullying through its strict policies. Under these systems, students may experience limitations of freedom. For example, if a student is involved in bullying as a victim or perpetrator, school management may try to persuade the student to transfer to another school in an attempt to avoid disruptions. However, this doesn't address the underlying problems and could be punitive for students who have been victimized. Each country appears to take a different approach to addressing school bullying, which may be influenced by the majority cultural values in each context. In the US, many schools have implemented bullying prevention programs at the universal level, expecting students to learn about bullying and then take responsibility for their own behavior. In China, schools emphasize high achievement and want to reduce disruptions in the school environment, so there may be swift, serious consequences for involvement in physical bullying. Despite these efforts, bullying remains a problem in each country, putting involved students at risk for negative consequences. In further efforts to reduce bullying and promote healthy development, each country may stand to learn from the other's approach. For example, in the US, we found less information about how teachers can provide more targeted intervention or support for individuals or small groups of students who are at risk for involvement or have already been involved in school bullying. This may indicate that schools in the US may benefit from additional emphasis on how to effectively address bullying once it has happened. Likewise, it may be helpful for schools in China to implement bullying prevention efforts, as well as to determine how to deal with bullying consequences in a way that remediates behavior of bullies and provides support for students who have been victimized. We encountered several challenges in this review that made it difficult to draw comparisons across countries. The different areas of research focus we've discussed presented one such challenge. Additionally, terms and classifications were often used differently in the two bodies of research. Many articles published in Chinese did not differentiate between school bullying and other forms of school violence, while articles published in English focused exclusively on bullying. Students were also classified differently in the two bodies of research. Researchers in China often separated students into two broad categories: those not involved in bullying and those involved, regardless of their role. In the US, researchers most commonly classified children according to their role in bullying, categorizing students as bullies, victims, bully victims, or those with no involvement. In future research, studies that facilitate more direct comparison of school influences on bullying may help shed light on how these influences may be similar or different across cultural contexts.